Hey, so first off, I want to explain what happens in this video because if I don't, you'll probably be very confused. Anyways, so one day, me and Quake were messing around on PvP Legacy when we decided to do a 2v2 with one of my main kits. And so we ended up fighting these two players, which I will be referring to as Player 1 and Player 2. Yes, I am very big creative genius. Thank you. So this video is essentially going to be me doing a little bit of storytelling about this legendary fight. And the background footage you see on screen will just me doing some random stuff in my personal survival world to keep the folks at home entertained despite your TikTok corrupted attention span. Thank you. And now without further ado, let's get into it. So there we were. Me and Quake were fighting these two guys. It was a long, brutal battle, but soon Quake fell, and now it was a 2v1. I was already struggling against Player 1, and now that Quake had fallen, Player 2 was on my back as well. I convinced them to do one at a time, and I fought Player 1, the more skilled one, for a while like that, but then a voice appeared. Apparently another 5th player began to spectate, and he told Player 2 to join the fight and 2v1 me. I had no clue who this new guy was, or if Player 2 would even listen to him, but before long I found myself facing two opponents at the same time, once again. It was a long, rough battle, and before long I began to falter as I ran out of resources to heal my armor, or bottles of enchanting, and my helmet ended up breaking. Suddenly, I was taking much more damage with my lower defense. My only hope of victory now was to break their armor, but since it's a 2v1, that means not only do they have twice the manpower, but twice the bottles of enchanting, armor healers, that could help them significantly, especially if they played them right, and of course, they did. You see, my strategy was to attack Player 1 as he was better, and Player 2 would have a much more difficult time landing hits on me as Player 1 and I strafed, knocked each other back and forth, and moved around a lot. This resulted in me fighting almost one player at a time despite their efforts. You see, if I were to target Player 2 instead, then this means that Player 1 with his increased accuracy could hit me around, messing up my combos on Player 2. The reason why I target one player is because if I hit one, then I switch to the other suddenly, that means I'll only deal some damage to them and give them time to heal up. This would be allowing them to tag in and tag out, and this is a very effective strategy when you have more players than the other person. So, Player 1, being more skilled, had the intellect to tell his teammate Player 2 to hand over his bottles of enchanting, so Player 1 could fight me without his armor breaking, and this strategy was especially good since I was targeting Player 1. My strategy was good as it was going to get, so I decided to simply fight with my pure skill. I knew it wouldn't be enough. I was without a helmet, I was fighting two players with full armor, the battle was over, I had lost, I didn't think there was any hope, but then I remembered something. I've been playing PvP Legacy for a while, and many times I had fought before, and surely I thought I would lose, but sometimes I was able to pull back and win despite the most dire circumstances. I knew I had next to 0% chance of winning, but I knew there was a glimmer of hope no matter the circumstance, so I mustered every ounce of determination I had and put everything I had into this fight. I was at the mercy of my own fate, and things were going south fast. Every time I encountered them, they would get a couple hits in before fleeing quickly due to my low defense. I was very unsure of myself, and I had just assumed that I had lost, but then Player 1 said something very, very interesting. He basically said that his helmet only had 12 durability left, and he may have been making just a simple, innocent comment, but that one message gave me all the determination I needed to continue this battle. So there I was, me versus two opponents. I had no helmet, but Player 2 and Player 1 had full armor, with Player 1's helmet slowly breaking. This was the only thing giving me hope. But if I could just target Player 1 for a little bit longer, then maybe I could break his helmet, get close to killing him, and give myself a glimmer, a chance of winning. I had my plan now. I knew what I had to do. So I gapped and rushed Player 1, bowing him down a bit just to get his armor and health a little bit lower before I jumped into the swinging blades of Player 1 and Player 2. I just had to survive long enough to break Player 1's helmet, and then I would have a chance at victory. I had to take it. I swung my blade, performing a crit combo on Player 1, but it wasn't enough. I retreated when my health got low. I bowed him some more, healed, and then rushed back in again. Before long, I did it. His helmet was gone. I now had to take my shot. I retreated, I fully healed up, and I was ready to shift the tide of this ongoing battle. I rushed him again, performing another crit combo on him, significantly lowering his health. Player 2 was still there, making things difficult, lowering my health as well. Before long, I was retreating again to heal up. This went on for a while until one time when I clashed with them, I went to retreat just to heal, but right before I escaped, I critted Player 1 more time, and just like that, his character fell to the ground and disappeared. That was it. I nearly won, somehow. I had gone from having no helmet against two max players to now fighting the lesser Player 2 alone. Even without my helmet, I knew I could take him, so I prepared for one final encounter. My heart raced with adrenaline as the tide shifted significantly to my favor. As my perseverance and determination shined through my situation, I had come out the other end, stronger than ever before. I was ready to end this and to take my victory. Barely taking any time to heal, I aggressively rushed player 2, not giving him any chance to breathe. I bore down on him, crating him out with my blade again and again. I could almost feel him slipping to despair. I never relented. I kept going. I wasn't planning on losing this fight, and before long, his helmet, it shattered. But this only fueled my fire. I kept going, hitting him over and over, and soon, now his boots, they're gone too. And with it, any chance of his survival. I now held all the cards. I was in charge, and I didn't plan on backing down anytime soon. I kept swinging. I could almost feel his panic as he fell into a bunch of previously placed cobwebs, only sealing his fate further. And then, I delivered the final blow. His body vanished into a cloud of dust within the cobwebs, and soon the match restarted, pulling me out of my frenzy. Now Quake stood next to me, alive again after so long, and player 1 and player 2 were there as well, looking on from the other side of the battle-worn field. The random spectator who had joined a while ago seemed to be very surprised at my victory, and the other 4 of us agreed that our conflict had gone on long enough, and that the fight was over. So, we all said our good games and our goodbyes, and I disconnected, still in shock of how I was able to perform such an unbelievable comeback all by myself. Also, to that random spectating player, I know you might be watching as you did ask for my channel name, but if you are, I just want to say that half of me wants to say screw you for making that guy 2v1 me, and the other half of me is very grateful that you challenged me in such a fashion. But I'm mostly thankful. So thanks. I don't know why you randomly began to spectate us, but in the end, I'm glad you did. As for the other 2 people I fought, good game.